Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. We finally have the last movie in what has felt like the longest watch series ever, Transformers. I believe this is the last night. I'm excited for it. Why is it 3 hours almost? Why are all of these movies 3 hours almost? I'm not incredibly excited about it. I lied. I said I was excited about it. I'm not. I will say seeing Optimus Prime with a sword could potentially be really cool. I don't know. We're going to pop this in the DVD player, and then I'm going to come back and give you guys my initial thoughts and reactions and kind of do a review of not just this movie, but the entire little 5 movies here.
Watch, oh, it's Watch List Wednesday.
I'll add it to the list.
Alrighty! And it lived up to expectations. I will say this. I'm going to give this movie a little bit of extra props. Isabella Merced was in this. I love Isabella Merced. Obviously, this is like 10, 15 years before... Not 10, 15 years. This is obviously like 6 or 7 years before I knew who Isabella Merced was. But she was in it, and that's fun. There's a lot of elements of her character that is just like stupid because like she's supposed to be like this really smart kid who lives on the streets and knows how to get by and is able to like survive with all these like giant Transformers. And then she just like steps up and is just like, "Hey, you stupid Decepticon! Fight me like a man!" And like, girl, you're a fucking tiny child. That is a 60-foot fucking robot. What are you gonna do against that? What is up with this movie and having just like the worst logic ever? Every single character in this movie has like the biggest plot armor ever, and it absolutely drives me insane because like you can't be like, oh well, in this scene, Mark Wahlberg is gonna fight this Transformer and it's gonna be okay, and oh this character is gonna go face to face with this Transformer and it's gonna be okay, and then have a sequence where all of the Decepticons, which oh my god, okay, I'm gonna complain about this real quick. There's a sequence in here, and this is a sequence that I've seen, and I've been curious as to, like, is this an actual thing that happens? I was starting to think that it was something that was in a trailer and not an actual scene in the movie. The scene where Megatron randomly is, like, talking to the American government and is like, okay, we are going to make a bargain with you. You can have some of your guys back. Just go take care of this problem for us. And Megatron is just like, okay. And he does his list of all of these different guys that he wants. And we go one by one. Here's this guy. And here's his deal. And here's this guy. And that's this deal. And they're giving us all these Decepticons. And they have a personality. And they have their own cool, unique, individual designs that I'm like, okay, this is a group of characters I could get behind. Instead of there being just one villain for Optimus Prime at the end of the movie, there's going to be a little team-up situation. This is going to be fun. They montage through introducing those characters in maybe about 2 minutes. Somehow they kill them off even fucking quicker than that. What the hell? And that's my problem with some of the scenes where like Isabella Merced's character is going up face to face with a Transformers, because they're doing that, but you're also showing me that these Decepticons can get killed in about 12 seconds. If they could kill a fucking Decepticon in 12 seconds, they could kill a little girl in less time than that. What is going on with these movies? I'm not saying I wanted them to kill the little girl, obviously, but Jesus Christ, this movie, that like the first movie, whenever there's sequences where the character's transforming, everything felt tangible, everything felt like it could kind of exist in real life. And I get that I'm currently complaining about a movie franchise that is a bunch of alien robots that randomly decide they can transform into anything, but they're going to specifically look like random cars, and they're going to actually let people drive them around and stuff. I understand this is a stupid premise in theory, but the fact that this franchise went from being something that was kind of good to slowly getting worse, slowly getting worse, slowly getting worse is not great. And I think that overall this entire franchise just weird. It's weird. There's a lot of things that are consistent with these movies that I will say is something that I do like about a franchise. Everything about this franchise was super, consistent. In every single one of these movies, we rewrite the origins of the Transformers. Oh, well, they've been around since Egyptian times. Oh, they were actually the cause of the Big Bang. There was dinosaur Transformers. Oh, they were actually teams up with the Knights of the Round Tables. How about you guys fuck off? What do you mean? In the first movie, they established that, like, the first Decepticon is discovered back in, like, the 1960s. And then they're like, oh, but they've actually been around since this long. Oh, they've actually been around since this long. No! Stop it! Jesus Christ. What? No! And then in this movie, they also decide, okay, we're going to introduce Cybertron is going to crash into Earth because Earth is actually called, like, Unicron. And it's, like, their biggest enemy. And they brainwash Optimus Prime. Having evil Optimus Prime seems like a concept that could be cool, but he fights Bumblebee for about 2 minutes, and then Mark Wahlberg, is like trying to climb up on him and fight Optimus Prime too, which, once again, these Autobots just killed 6 Decepticons in about 27 seconds, and you expect me to believe that Mark Wahlberg can crawl around on a brainwashed Optimus Prime and not die? Fuck all the way off with that. Actually, like, genuinely, what? No, get out of here. And then the thing that, like, wipes his brain is just Bumblebee speaking in his regular voice box, which, by the way, once again, they've said in multiple movies that they're going to fix the voice box, and then, like, every single movie will start off with his voice box not working. And then they get some, like, little jerry-rigged one, and it's giving him a weird voice. They make fun of him for having a weird voice. And then, finally, he randomly gets his voice back, and it's completely unexplained. They were like, we like these movies, we want to make them 2.5 hours long, but we don't want to actually put plot or logic into any of it. And that's kind of what's painful about it. These movies have felt more exhausting than they've been entertaining. Like, I like the action sequences of a lot of these. I think that there's a lot of fun to be had with these movies. But I think I would need to be absolutely plastered to actually enjoy these. And that's not a good thing. But that being said, right, Optimus Prime's design looked great. Bumblebee had that weird scene where he was able to, like, take parts of himself off and fight using different parts of him. That was an interesting concept to just randomly throw in this movie. That's interesting. Wasn't really a fan of that, if I'm being totally honest. But that being said, that's just kind of how this franchise goes. So, like I said, gonna kind of want to talk about the franchise as a whole now that I'm done with these original 5, because I'm gonna go watch Bumblebee next. That's what my next Watch List Wednesday video is going to be. And then I'm finally gonna make a video ranking all of the theatrically released ones, excluding, I think they had an animated one that came out in the 80s. I haven't been able to find it. I think I would need to go on Paramount Plus to find it, and I made a video talking about it, but I hate Paramount Plus. I just think that it's one of the worst streaming services when it comes to just, like, little, like, ticks about the platform. I have issues with it. But that being said, to talk about this franchise as a whole, let's talk about the things that they did consistently. Over-sexualize every female character ever. Fail the Bechdel test in probably every one of these. I can be completely incorrect. I don't think they passed the Bechdel test a single time. Something good about this franchise, they randomly got some incredible actors to be in this. Sir Anthony Hopkins, I love him to death. He's fantastic. Stanley Tucci played a different character in both of the Mark Wahlberg movies, which why? He's Merlin in this. Of course he's Merlin in this, because Stanley Tucci fucking rocks. That's okay. Can't remember his name right now. There was a John guy who's also absolutely incredible. They get so many good actors to be in these movies, and it's one of those things where it's just like, okay. And then, that being said, if we're talking about great actors, I do want to give credit where credit's due. The voice actor for Optimus Prime is absolutely incredible. I'm going to look up his name right now. Hold up. Editing magic. Peter Cullen. I knew something, part of it was Cullen, but I cannot remember for the life of me if that was his first name, if that was his last name. But yeah, Peter Cullen, absolutely incredible. He does a really good job with these movies. I think that his Optimus Prime voice is so iconic. And it's one of those performances where it's like, you know, they'll talk about, like, RDJ as Iron Man, one of the best castings of all time. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, one of the greatest castings of all time. I think that Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime is one of the best castings of all time. Like, that voice is just so iconic. He absolutely nails it. I love the video interview where, like, people are talking about when he got cast for the first time, and, you know, somebody told him, if you're going to be a hero, you need to be strong enough to be gentle. And I loved that. That's incredible. And the voice genuinely is just absolutely captivating. I liked a lot of the action in this. I gotta be honest with you. All of these action sequences worked to at least an extent with me. I will admit, once again, we're back to the Transformers problem of we're having all these epic robots and they're fighting and they're doing all these really interesting things in the middle of a desert for some reason, in a junkyard in Mexico for some reason. I don't think it was Mexico. I can't remember where it was. But just, there's a bunch of cool locations. Like, they've done one of these in a city, and they're like, let's go to the middle of nowhere and have these little robots just fight in the middle of nowhere. And it's like, I get it. You kind of want to make, like, a sandbox movie and have these characters just fighting and doing the most ridiculous stuff. And sometimes it's harder to visualize that when it's in a city. But it just kind of takes away some of the fun of these movies, of just kind of seeing a city get absolutely destroyed. It is what it is. I like the fact that they consistently make the Decepticons the bad guys and consistently have the Autobots being the good guys, but for some reason the military would rather work with the Decepticons than the Autobots, even though they have time and time again seen that Optimus Prime is trying to save them. I think that that's interesting. I like that in almost every single one of these movies, Optimus Prime starts off being very gentle and being like, we need to give humanity a chance. They're beautiful. We love them. And then he goes, I'm gonna kill you. And he becomes so violent throughout every single one of these. And it's so funny because, like, he is very peaceful. And he's talking about, like, everyone deserves a chance to live and humanity should thrive. And then he's also like, I'm gonna rip your face off. Calm down, big man. But that being said, it's epic, okay? I'll give him that. It's kind of cool. And, yeah, so there's fun to be had with these movies. I do think, for better or for worse, if you like this kind of raunchy comedy, it's kind of entertaining. I don't think for the majority of it stands the test of time, which is funny to say about this movie specifically, because this one came out like, I was going to say 2017 was 5 years ago. Hold up, let me do math. 3, 5, 8 years ago. Oh my god! 2017 wasn't 3 years ago. Oh god, I feel old. Let me go take my arthritis medicine. That's not a funny joke. I'm so sorry. That was really insensitive, actually. My apologies to people who have arthritis. I did not mean to be ableist. That's my bad. But yeah, that being said, that was it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by and checking it out. Like I said, next week we're going to be watching Bumblebee, and then we'll finally be able to rank all of them and move on to a different movie franchise, which, by the way, I'm going to take suggestions. If any of you guys have a movie franchise that you would recommend, part of me wants to kind of keep up the series of, like, doing franchises that have, like, 4 or 5 movies. So, you know, if you know any good ones, I might also just watch the Back to the Future trilogy, because if I'm being honest, I've seen the first Back to the Future 6 times. I've never seen any other of them. But that being said, like I said, let me know whatever you guys are thinking. And yeah, that being said, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by and checking it out. I love and appreciate you guys so much for watching. And if you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe. And I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bow, bow, bow.